Korean War. So another thing, so similar to what was going on in Germany, Korea was also divided into two zones of occupation after the war. So the Soviet Union controlled the north, so this orange area, and the United States controlled the south. And so again, this is going to lead us potentially to some sort of a conflict. It was divided at the 38th parallel. So that's just, did you guys take geography and you had to do like latitude and longitude?
Oh no.
So the Earth is just broken up into a grid basically, and the 38th parallel. I thought geography was a requirement in California, or ninth grade.
Not in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I said so, be that as it may, what you need to know is that there is this line, imaginary line that goes across the globe, and so the 38th parallel, above it is Soviet Union, below that is the United States. It's not the equator, but it's similar to the equator if you just shifted it up 38 degrees north.
What? What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All you have to know is that there's this imaginary line similar to how the equator is, that above it is Soviet Union and below it is the United States. So this is going to lead to some sort of conflict again, just because we have so much tension between the Soviet Union and the United States during this time, that of course there's going to be friction. And so next we're going to talk about exactly how this friction went down. Exactly. So as Alexis was saying, so they're going to be fighting. The North's going to invade first. We're going to start talking about that.
Yes, but.
Whoa, miss, whoa.
Are we not ready yet?
No.
Okay. We'll take about 30 more seconds. Yeah, go.
Why do you think in this country, like, were they fighting to see which country could get more territory?
So basically, it's a good question. So what happened here is this, Korea was one of the areas that Japan had conquered, right? And so since Japan lost the war, they lost all their territory that they had conquered. And Korea was a little bit, well, actually it was really unstable at this time, so they didn't have a government in place. And so in order to stabilize the country, which is kind of ironic because they did anything but stabilize it, the United States controlled the South and the Soviet Union controlled the North. And so they were supposed to be there only so long as it took to establish a stable government in Korea. So unfortunately though, as it would happen, the United States backs one government and the Soviet Union backs another one. So in 1948, rival governments were established. So the Republic of Korea in the South. Yeah, so you should take notes on this. You don't have to copy it word for word because again, this is just for you to pick what information you really want to cover. So if you decide that you're going to do the Korean War, you'll have all this information in the packet that I give you anyway.
All of it?
All of it and then some. Okay, so in 1948 we have these two rival governments that are established. And 2 years later, North Korea invades. So they invade, they advance quickly. The United Nations demands that they withdraw. And each side is supported by external powers. So who are the external powers that are supporting them? I'm going to draw. Okay, good. So the Soviet Union and the US are the two external powers. So again, this becomes a battle between communism and anti-communism. And so the question is, who would win? Would another domino fall? So can somebody explain, maybe either Julio or Abel, since you guys were the ones who did the domino theory before, what does that mean when I ask, would another domino fall?
It means that like, what that means to me means that they think that this might happen again, might happen again.
And what might happen again?
Another country will fall over.
Another.
Oh.
To what? What did they domino to fall into? Communism. Good. So if we remember the domino theory, was that if one country falls to communism,
They all fall.
then they'll all fall. So just like a row of dominoes, you knock one over, they'll all fall over as well.
Is it
Oh,
Cuba?
yeah.
Hey, is it Cuba one?
Where are they from? All over Europe. And French, English, Irish, Scotch, Dutch, Chinese.
No, you're not.
I kid you not. I kid you not. Yes, Henry.
Are you
Okay, you
sure?
guys, I'm serious. You guys should listen. Henry has a question. Yeah.
Is Cuba a communist country?
So Cuba is a communist country, yes. And so we're going to actually be talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Bay of Pigs as well. So,
Does he have German?
okay.
Hey.
So this is the Korean War. So if you're interested to know who's going to win the war, the Korean War is it's called the Forgotten War as well. So not a lot of people know about it. But what's it called? The Forgotten War? The Forgotten War. Because a lot of people, when you name all the major wars that the U.S. participated in, this is the one that almost always gets forgotten. So this would be a good one to know because a lot of times it's not covered. So
Which is the war that the U.S. lost in Vietnam, right?
yeah, so we're going to talk about Vietnam as well. And so, all right. So another very exciting and heated conflict is the Bay of Pigs and the Cuban Missile Crisis. So Henry was just asking about whether Cuba was a communist country, and yes, it was, and it came at this time. So in 1959.
Oh, they had a question about that.
Oh, did they?
It was something to do with Cuba.
Why was it for the United States?
No, it wasn't that. It
So
was
we're going to be talking about that.
yeah.
Okay, so once again, I'm going to ask that the side conversations please be stopped because most of the participation is up here at the front, which I don't like to see. And so people in the back, definitely, if you don't want to participate, that's fine, but you should definitely be listening to what your classmates are saying.
Have people told you that you're not that?
Yes.
That she was?
I just have so much to say.
I said that
That's
she
what
was.
it has to like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Okay, so in 1959, Fidel Castro led a successful communist revolution in Cuba. This is Castro right here, and actually, so this main guy right here, and actually, Che Guevara is right over here as well.
Yeah,
On the side of
Che.
him. So someone that you might be familiar with. So this was an interesting picture because you can see two of the major players in this Cuban revolution over here. Okay, so this question, I want you guys to start thinking about it. I need everybody to please quiet down. So why did the U.S. see this revolution as such a threat to national security? And I'm going to be picking a card, so you need to be ready. All right, well, let me listen.
Guerrilla warfare.
Anna Chavez.
Okay, Anna Chavez. What do we think? So why did the U.S. see this communist revolution in Cuba as such a huge threat? What do we think? There's a lot of different answers. So where is Cuba located in relation to the United States?
Over there.
South.
Near or far?
Or
Far near.
It's close.
close.
Okay, it's really close. So to Florida, right? So I'm going to show you guys a map actually.
Get that, Anna. Porn stars.
Okay? A, if appropriate. Okay. So if you take a look at this map,
Bay of Pigs.
we can see where Cuba is related, and that's Florida. Okay, it's only about 90 miles away actually.
So we're really close to it?
So we're really close to Cuba. So I'm going to ask the question again. So why do we think, why is this so much scarier to the United States
Because it's so
than,
close to the United States.
Because
Okay.
they're close and the U.S. could become communist too.
okay, good.